My story started with Lifeway back in 2019. I got a phone call in that summer, it was June 28th, and the voice on the other end of the phone said, "Have you heard about X39?" It was Ron Ledford, my sponsor today, who was a friend of mine. He said, "I want you to watch this short video and give me your feedback on it a little bit." And so I went ahead, and he didn't really elaborate on what it was about. Just give me your feedback. I watched it, and oh my God. I knew what stem cells were, and I knew one day they'd probably be the medicine of the future. So called him back up, and I said, "Hey," I said, "I'm excited. I want to be in this." He said, "Okay." He started to tell me about some of the packages. I said, "Stop." I said, "I know network marketing has big packages. What's the top business building package you have?" And so I finally got Ron Ledford to consent to telling me how much the biggest package was. Like, what is it? How much? It was a diamond package for only $15.99. I said, "I want it." And he told me there was 19 sleeves. But somewhere along the line, he had told me there was $99 a sleeve. Well, I'm pretty good with math. I said, "Well, that's not $99. That's like $85. It's like cheaper." And so I was really excited. So chimney sweeps aren't cleaning a lot of chimneys. So I'm living from paycheck to paycheck. Went ahead, had the box in the seat, and I reached over to start my van. Well, my biggest problem was, it was my right wrist. And my hand was swelled up half the size of the other hand, and the wrist. And I'm not one to go to the doctor, but I went to the doctor. But he was holding my hand when he was telling me, and he was kind of pointing over here. And he said, "Well, we can fix that." And he said, "We're going to go ahead and we're going to cut the bone in half." Well, he's holding my hand. Well, I'm trying to get my hand out of his hand when he's talking about cutting my bone in half. So I thought I was going to have to live with that. I didn't know how to fix it. So I prayed a lot. And my left arm was actually getting bigger than my right arm because I couldn't use this hand. I'd go to church on Sunday. I couldn't even shake old ladies' hands. They dropped me to my knees. I'm not kidding. It hurt so bad. So I got in the van. I started the van with my left hand like I normally did, like this, because this hand's like over here like that, right? And so I put the patch. Now I don't read directions of anything, so I put the X39 patch on my wrist, right? Common sense. Dude, within about a minute and 30 seconds, the pain went from an 8 to a 2. Well, that got my attention. I grabbed the steering wheel for the first time in about a year and squeezed it. It's like, this is pretty cool, man. I'm looking at the patch, looking at the box, trying not to get in a wreck. Well, the next 15 minutes, I had so much go on with me, I had to pull over. I couldn't even drive. The sky seemed like it got about 10 times bluer. The leaves on the trees seemed like it got about 10 times greener. Now, I was having brain fog for about a year. My dad had passed away with dementia and Alzheimer's, and I kind of thought that's what I was getting. I couldn't remember stuff very well. Well, all of a sudden, that just went away right then. I could remember stuff. Some more things started happening to me that day also. I had more energy than I normally do, and I'm like hot grease on a skillet anyway, if you know me. I didn't need any more energy. I went to bed that night, and I slept better than I had in 3 decades, and I sleep pretty good anyway. I got up that next morning. I realized I needed to share this with people, and so I started reaching out to people. And I'm not a network marketer, so I didn't really know any network marketers, but I knew a lot of people. And so I just started texting people, and I decided that I wanted to just resonate and lead with X39. I'd heard about the other patches, but I was just focused on what fixed my wrist, right? I just kept it simple, and I just started texting friends and, "Have you heard about X39? It's changed my life. Watch this short video and get back to me." Well, lo and behold, my phone started blowing up. My social media started blowing up. I ended up selling, I think, about 11 diamonds my first month, 20 golds and silvers. Made about $10,500 my first month not making income claims, but that's what happened, right? I ended up hitting senior presidential director in 16 weeks. And at the time, that was probably the fastest that it had been, on the planet. And so I was like totally stoked and excited. So just kept sharing this with people and ended up making a dream income, and I'm just an old hippie and stuff. And I guess, the whole theme of my story is leading with X39 like Lori wanted me to. And that's all I do. I have tremendous leaders. Anybody can do this. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. It could be a chimney sweep from Modesto, California. This concept of what David has developed, it could be complicated if you get into the technical part, but if you start over informationing people, you're going to get in trouble. I know, I've done that before, but if you keep it simple, and what I do is, after someone says they want to, they watch the video, call me up, I just end up sending them a sample. I only give them one, X39, and I tell them, I look them straight in the eye if I can see them, or tell them on the phone, you might not feel anything. Now, that didn't make a lot of sense, but I started doing that, and it started making a lot of sense. My phone started blowing up. You might not feel anything, but the next day, I want you to call me. I'm going to show you how you can get on a 90-day supply with a 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Well, people were excited about that. The 70% of the people that felt something were calling me, go, hey, dude, you were wrong. We felt something, but you promised us we could get on that 90-day, trial. And then the 30% of the people that they say don't feel anything, hey, dude, man, you were right. We didn't feel nothing. But we're excited because you're going to show us how we can get that X39. So I keep it simple, and it works for me. Be yourself. You don't have to be someone you aren't, and just do it, man. I mean, we got one of the best companies probably on the planet, because it's not about the money for me, not at all. It's about people. It's about people calling me up, like one of my friends from Ohio calls me one day crying. She goes, I've been in Lifeway for about 6-8 months now. My husband broke his back in a trucking accident 15 years ago. I'm the sole food provider. I work 2 jobs. I work 16 hours a day. She's like in her 60s. And she goes, it was Christmas Eve about a year ago. And she called me on the phone and she said, I'm able to quit my job. I can stay home with my husband. I'm making an extra $500 a week. It doesn't seem like a lot, but for someone like that, it was. Don't stop. We got a wonderful company, and I believe that this company is going to probably outlive most of us. It's not going nowhere. It's great. Thank you. I love all you guys.